guys, today I'm going to be doing a recipe, and actually going to be doing two, but this is another one. And it's a recipe for a dessert you can make, you know, for the holidays, whether it's on Thanksgiving or Christmas. And this is Mexican flan. And if you don't know what it is, kind of like a milk-based jello, kind of. Not exactly, but it's kind of like a jello, but it's milk-based and it's really, really good. So, flan is the name of it, Mexican flan. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the ingredients. So, here they are. For the recipe, you're going to need 1.5 cans of the evaporated milk. Okay, so I have two, but I'm only going to use one and half of the other. And then I have the condensed milk. You're going to use the whole thing of the condensed milk. You're going to need vanilla. And this is, again, is the Mexican vanilla, but you could use any brand of vanilla. And we're going to need 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla. And we're going to need 6 eggs. These are large eggs, so 6 of them. And you're going to need, lastly, you're going to need 1.5 cups of sugar, white sugar. Okay, so that is all that you're going to need for all of this. And so, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make it. Okay, first you're going to go to your oven, and you're going to set your oven to 350 degrees and let it warm up. While that's warming up, you're going to take your blender and crack your 6 eggs into your blender. Here I'm using the Ninja blender, but whatever blender you have, you can use. So you're going to go ahead and get all your 6 eggs and put them into your blender. Crack them open and put them in there. Okay, so now you're going to take your condensed milk and you're going to pour it into your blender. And I'm using a spatula to make sure that I get all of the condensed milk out of the can and into my blender. And I make sure I kind of twist the can around and use a spatula to get everything out here. And once you've taken all your condensed milk, then you're going to go ahead and take your evaporated milk and you're going to dump it right in on top of that. And you're going to take your first can, dump it all in, and then you're going to take your second can. But remember that you're only going to put half of that can, not the whole thing. So there goes about half of can. And then next you're going to take your vanilla. Here I'm using half of a tablespoon, a little scoop, measuring a scoop. So I'm going to take 3 of them to make 1.5 tablespoons. So there you have your vanilla in. Then you're just going to take your blender and blend it all together. There it is. It's blending. Do that for a couple of seconds to make sure that you're blending it all in. Then you just take it out. And we're gonna just set that aside, and we're gonna go to our next step. And we're gonna heat up a pan less than medium heat, so between low and medium. Take your 1.5 cups of sugar and put it into your pan once it's already heated up. So this is how we're gonna make our caramel for to go on the bottom of our flan. So you just take and kind of like arrange it, make sure that it's all covering the pan. And just here I am just kind of like moving the pan so that I could move the sugar and it, knew it could all melt at the same time. So instead of using your, your spoon or anything to turn it, it's best to just take your pan and kind of swish it around, change the sugar, and this is gonna take a while, but here you see that it started to melt. So just again move it around and lay it back down into your stove and let it continue to melt. And this step does require quite a bit of patience, so just let it continue to heat up. And then here we go. After a little while, my sugar is melted into a caramel. I just make sure I leave it a little bit more there so you don't have any chunks of sugar. And now it's melted. I'm gonna take my mold where I'm gonna do my flan, and I am gonna pour it over. Just make sure you get all your caramel, fill all the bottom of your dish that you're gonna use. Pour it all into there. And I'm using here a spoon to make sure that I get everything onto my dish. Once everything is in your dish, okay, once it's all in your dish, you're gonna take your dish and kind of move it around a little bit, make sure it's covering all the bottom of it. Okay, then while that cools down for a minute or two, you're gonna pour water into a different pan that's a little bigger than the other glass one, and pour about a little less than halfway with water. So you have to make sure it's deep so you can fill it with water, less than halfway. So then you pour your mixture of your flan into on top of the caramel, fill it up all the way to the top. And you have to make sure that the other pan that you're going to put it into, it's big enough to fit the smaller one. So we're going to make sure that it fits in, and then you take your glass dish and you're going to put it right into this. And this is how it cooks. And you use the water in the other pan so the flan can cook completely all the way. And this is called baño Maria in Spanish, is the way of cooking it. And so now you're going to go ahead and put that in the oven at 350, like I said, and wait for an hour. So now here an hour has passed, and I'm going to go ahead and take my flan out of the oven and test it to see if it's completely cooked. And the method of checking this, if it's completely cooked, you're going to take a fork and put it into the flan. And if the fork comes out clean, like here, it's ready. So now I see that this is ready. I put it on a dish towel and let it cool down for a little bit. And then you're going to put it in the refrigerator overnight or for 4 hours. And here I'm just going to turn it over on a dish. So you flip over once it's refrigerated and done. You're gonna flip it over on a dish and wait for the caramel to fall off. So here I'm just waiting for a little bit, and there you go, it came out perfect. So here it is in my dish, and it looks yummy, a little smaller than in real life, but it is very yummy. So I hope you guys like this recipe.